So there's a question for listeners. Where do you buy petrol and how much do you pay for it? Where do you buy petrol? How much do you pay for it? There seems to be a war of words between two of our leading OMCs about price floors. Price floors. What is a price floor? A price floor is a low price at below which industry players are not allowed to sell. A price ceiling is a price above which industry players are not allowed to sell. So typically price floors and price ceilings are set to maintain competition and also give value depending on the circumstance. So if you set a price floor, you feel like sometimes when people are so desperately competing, it could lead to erosion of profits. So they could keep cutting prices until they earn nothing. A price ceiling, on the other hand, is also to protect consumers, so they don't have to pay beyond a certain amount, even though there's scarcity of a product. So there seems to be a war of words going on between two leading OMCs, GOIL and StarOil, over a price floor. And two civil society groups have taken two different sides. It appears that the chamber of not COMAC, COPEC seems to agree that we need to remove the price floor, because they claim, so the StarOil people say there is a price floor, and that if the price floor were removed, they could have sold lower. The GOIL people don't seem to believe that there is a price floor, and they don't seem to think that that's a big issue. If you listen to IES, another CSO, they seem to agree with the GOIL position that you need to maintain, if there is a price floor, you need to maintain it, because if you keep allowing people to just lower prices, it could also disrupt the market. So the question I want to ask listeners is, do they even compare objectively fuel prices before they buy? Why do you buy fuel from the station you buy fuel from? Is it because the place is neat? Is it because the people will not cheat you? Is it because it's close to your house? All right, I think that's a very important question I want you to help me with this morning. Where do you buy fuel? This is what for trotro drivers, for taxi drivers, and for people who own their own vehicles. Where do you buy it and why? I think that's the question. Do you buy because of proximity, because of price, because of quantity, because of ambience, or because they have a shop that you want to buy something at? Some people even go just because they have a shop that has something they want.
That's true.
Or you like the attendant, so you just want to greet the attendant every morning. So why do you buy fuel?
Because people could be in traffic, but they'll still drive and look for a specific fuel outlet and buy from there. So that there's that people have an agency.
So I want listeners to help us to make sense of the discussion by just telling us where they buy and why. All right.
So their decision.
Yes, I don't want you to tell me why you don't like somebody. It will become like, I don't buy from here because they still know. I don't want you to tell me where you buy and
your
why.
Your preference and the reason.
Usually when you say people should call people out, they respond more. So what I'm asking you this morning, if you can help me please, is to say, okay, Bernard, I buy from this particular station because it's very close to my house, or it's close to my office, or whatever reason, right? I want to know why, and I want to use that to test something about price
and consumer behavior or something.
There's something they call price consciousness, and then there's also something they call price sensitivity. So there are two different concepts. Price consciousness means that you are very much aware of price differentials, and it informs your decision as to where to buy. But price sensitivity means more like when there's a change in price, you shift.
Reactive.
So if like somebody is selling this and they move their price, you go to the next person. All right. So how price sensitive are petroleum consumers? How price conscious? There are questions about information, right? So when you read those numbers, they write 10.23 or 9.52. What does that mean to you? Do you even know how that calculates to fill in your tank? And are you a gallon or liter person when it comes to petrol? Do you buy gallons or you buy liters, or you just buy amounts? Do you buy liters or gallons or amounts? If you're laughing, let me guess. You buy amounts. Mommy, 200 cedis.
No.
So when you go, you say, mommy, 3 gallons.
No, so I fill my tank.
So you are neither. You are neither gallons or fuel.
No,
or,
she's tank.
You are neither gallons or liter or amount. Just
Because the car has to be efficient for my purpose. So I fill the tank.
Wow.
And I move, and then when it goes
So when
down,
you get to
I
a place, you fill it. You don't even say, "Mommy," hey, and they will scap out.
Charlie?
But wait, my car.
They should fill your tank irrespective of how much it costs.
If you drive a small car, it's like reasonable.
Yeah, but our cars
to
are
fill
small,
your
but we still
tank.
just buy.
Sophie.
But if you are buying, if you are not filling your tank and you're buying, would you buy in gallons, liters, or amount?
Definitely liters.
What I'm saying is, what do you tell the attendant?
No, that attendant. It's I communicate through amount.
Cash. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Most people do that.
Yeah.
I'm told that.
But
you
the
should mention-
amounts have the liters. If you like, once you're a regular purchaser of fuel, you can tell that maybe 200 cedis is.
That's if the
XYZ.
guy is honest, or if the thing is well calibrated. If the thing is not well calibrated,
That's also there.
it can be a problem, right? I used to think in gallons, but because we report in liters in news, I've sort of changed to liters.
Right.
But as like you, I buy in cedis, so I'm like, give me 500. What makes me know if things are hard or not is the car. I've had this car since 2021, and in the past, I used to fill my tank for 400, and then it went to 500. It got to 600. It got to 720.
Jesus.
I think it's come down a bit to around 6 something. It's come down.
Yeah.
So in me, that's what I use when I fill the tank. The rough amount I use tells me whether fuel price have gone up or not. That's how I do it. All right.
So you also fill the tank.
Oh, sometimes I do. Sometimes I do. Yes. Before we take your comments on this, we'll also discuss the controversy as to whether the MPA has set a price floor and whether they should remove it so that competition will play. Because don't forget, when they brought deregulation, when I started this journalism job, MPA was always talking because they had to determine fuel prices, and then they decided they were going to stop that. So they called it deregulation, and they said people should display their price. You choose where you would buy. So why are we not enjoying lower prices? Why is there a price floor? I heard Abbas Tasunti deny the presence of a price floor, but I don't think the head of StarOil will say there's a price floor if there's none. Right? So I think they were playing technical jargon. There obviously is a price floor. All right. So I don't know whether it's the MPA that sets it or whether it's the chamber that sets it, but there's clearly some agreement around pricing, which in my view is collusion anyway, because you shouldn't. People should sell on the basis of their cost build-up. And
no, but there's also competition, and in as much as we don't have competition laws, you also don't want people to or OMCs to drop as low as they can. That will outcompete others.
So what? So we'll be happy. Do you know how much money they've made over us?
No, but we can't.
Fuel prices have
understand
led
that.
to many problems in this country. If for the first time in a long time, international prices are coming down, there's oversupply, Tor is coming on stream, Sinto is working, Dangote is not far away. We've suffered for long. We should enjoy.
No, but prices are dropping. It's just that
they must fall.
Floor.
They must fall.
Beyond the floor.
They must fall. So I don't know why we are even arguing about this. The prices must come down.
They must come down.
Because we can save. Don't forget, part of the problems the transport people are causing us is because they are resisting the legitimate urge for them to lower their fares. And they are always changing the goalpost. First they said spare parts, then they said the roads. Now they are saying it's high demands from their masters. So you see, when fuel prices go up, the pass-through effect affects everything.
Yeah.
So when fuel prices come down, we must enjoy it.
Yes, sir.
You get it? So this price floor, me, I don't understand.
No, but you see, I think that to be fair, fuel prices are coming down. If transport operators or owners decide to be insincere and shift the goalpost, which in the past they would argue that it was because of fuel prices, and now they've shifted to spare parts, which doesn't even make sense because the exchange rate is not so bad. Then that is their insincerity.
No, they say is the demand that their car owners place on them. No, it's true.
There's a new reason.
No, yesterday on CNN, the guy said the car owners are demanding so much, so they have to do short trips. I'm telling you.
But you see, so that goes into our transportation issue.
Which is why fuel prices must keep falling.
Fuel prices are going down.
But they can go more. Because this whole thing started. This whole thing started when
there has to be fairness in the operation of business.
Fair to who?
Fair to the businesses. You see, we can't only make a decision on the interest of the consumer. That's not supposed to say that the consumer's interest is not important.
Tech and social media trends. Edwin will give you the genesis of this discussion. The CEO of an OMC wrote on social media that he could his company could lower prices further were it not for the price floor that had been set. That's the whole genesis of the discussion.
Yes.
And I think I agree with what he's saying.
We all agree with him, but the question is, how does that play out in the industry? If he's able to do that and still break even or make profit, what's the impact on the next OMC?
He should design his business model to fit that.
Maybe perhaps that's why we need anti-competition laws.
If somebody decides to sell egg at 30 cedis a crate because his chickens lay every 2 weeks and your chickens lay once a month and you are selling yours for 50, can you say that because his chickens every 2 weeks you didn't sell at 30 cedis?
What I'm saying, Bernard, is that we have to protect the industry. Otherwise, you're going to allow a certain group of players to control the market. Okay, for instance, and that's the problem that we talk about. Okay. We complain that there are XYZ number of China malls who are selling things for really cheap, out-competing locals.
Yeah.
We are to do something about that. But imagine that's what we are asking for in the fuel space, so that the person who can go low
I see where you are going with this, but I beg to differ slightly. Number one, these are two local companies, so that's number one. Both of them are vertically integrated, so there's no unfair competition. Both of them have BDCs who have OMCs. So basically, they are BDC who have OMC. So there's no inherent advantage. One is state-owned, one is private. That's number three. Number four, nobody's spoken about protecting the consumer. Right? A lot of our companies protect themselves very well. I'm not talking of SMEs. A lot of our industries, they operate like cartels.
Yeah.
Economists call them oligopolies. Right? The point is, they know how to fend for themselves. It's we who nobody cares about. So if for the first time in a long time the stars have aligned and we can buy petrol or fuel fuel at single digit, I know we have to protect industry, but the company will not collapse because they sell at 9.
So industry has to now come together and agree if they are going to lower the threshold. Then but if you take the floor away and everybody is going to do as they please, somebody can sell fuel at 1 Ghana cedi and still make their profit, and others may lose out.
That's as my financial friend. Which one be your concern? Which one be your concern now?
But you see, that's why I'm saying that the decision cannot be solely on the interest of the consumer, which I'm not downplaying. But it's not just the consumer, because lower fuel prices, lower cost of production of other things. So, for example, manufacturing companies, when diesel prices are low, diesel has a pass-through effect on construction, mining. So, if you see, it's to stimulate the economy. True.
So for me, we shouldn't see it as just a consumer, because they are commercial consumers, they are industrial consumers, and then they are just regular consumers. I think that fuel price coming down is very good to generate or stimulate production of other sectors. Right? If it is proven that selling below a certain price will destroy most of the companies, then I hold back. So I think it behoves on those who are sort of for the fuel price floor to prove to us by hard calculations that selling below a certain price is unsustainable. Until that calculation is done, I don't think I support this price floor. I do not think so. Let's take a break. Let's bring you tech and social media trends. Don't forget the question for the audience or for the listener. Where do you buy fuel and why? We don't want you to choke anybody. We don't want you to choke anybody. We asked listeners to tell us where they buy fuel and why. We didn't want them to choke people. We just wanted you to tell us where you buy fuel and why. You get a point, right? Yeah. So we are looking for positive information. So let's read some. Okay, then I'll read something to you on the price war that's evolved between the two leading OMCs.
Yeah, I thought I should just give you some quick information.
Yes, after the comments.
Okay, Robinson and Nani of Odumai says, I usually buy from Zain because of price. Bernard, I buy from Shell.
Is it Zain or Zen?
Zain.
The spelled is Z-A-I-N?
Yeah, but this written like Z-A-I-N.
Yeah, okay, maybe there's Zain somewhere. Maybe it's in some part of the country.
Zen.
They meant to type Zen.
Fred, when you travel to parts of country, you see
that's the thing.
I'm telling you, some oil marketing company I've seen in this country.
Anyway,
when you go on the burger, Navrongo Road. Charlie,
I like the tula.
Some of the oil station names that I've seen on that road. Or when you're on Heritage Caravan and you're on the Eastern Corridor. Charlie, you go on. I don't want to mention the names here.
Bernard, I buy from Shell because my company subscribes to their Shell card services.
That's so.
Yvonne from Tema says, good morning, Bernard and team. I buy from StarOil because of price and quality, and I could drive long distances just to buy from them.
Okay.
Is there a name on this? Will assist. That's Yvonne. Dear CBS team, please, I buy from StarOil and I will keep buying from StarOil. It's affordable and has many outlets within my proximity. This is David from Adenta. Owusu Echao in Abelimpe says, good morning, Bernard. Quality fuel and excellent customer service are my primary drive when it comes to where I purchase fuel. I stick with Icon Energy because they give me value for money. Good morning, team. My preference has always been StarOil. I have been using their services in the last 5 years. Good morning, Bernard and team. I buy from Shell and Total and I fill my tank immediately I hit my quarter tank mark. I hardly pay attention to the price because irrespective of the price, I need the fuel for work as my job requires a lot of movement. And that's from Akosia. Here's another one. Good morning, Bernard and team. I am a Bolt driver, and because fuel is a key contributor to my profit margins, I also consider the efficiency of my engine. So I do a mixture of Zen because it's cheaper and Shell for engine efficiency.
Wow.
So I buy 250 Ghana Cedi Shell, and
mixing.
as it goes down, I top up with Zen. I repeat this every day. This is Mike from Kaswa. Good morning, CBS. I mostly buy from GOIL. Reason, because it's Ghanaian owned, which translates into funds, retention, and circulation in Ghana. And also their products are reasonably priced. I'm both price conscious and price sensitive.
Correct.
They should allow us to enjoy the price floors once the economic climate has presented itself before it changes to price ceiling levels, which they are quick to adjust the higher prices. That's Dennis Carley from La. Yes, another message. I'm Frank from Kukurantumi. Diesel, new Tafo Achim Total, that's good mileage, lasts longer.
Okay.
Petrol, GOIL, Bunso, accurate dispensing.
This guy's prepare off.
LPG, LPG, Jumapo, before the police barrier, Willie's Place. Accurate dispensing lasts longer.
You know.
Yes, another person.
This is a proper economist. He's giving you the reason. Go back to the thing. So for the first one, there's what?
So he says for diesel, he goes to new Tafo Achim Total for good mileage and it lasts longer.
And then petrol.
And for petrol, he buys from GOIL at Bunso because of accurate dispensing. I wonder how it's measured.
And then LPG,
he says he goes to Jumapo before the police barrier, Willie's Place. And it's because it's accurate dispensing and it lasts longer.
No, Frank from Kukurantumi.
Hey.
You're a friend of Pepeni Nkwante.
Does he go with the jelly can or something?
Nkantebu.
They
said if you want
Professor.
to, Professor. What's the name of the guy? Professor.
Bob Watson.
No, Professor Asamoah. He said he used to teach in some school, and then he asked people to translate. Or they went to write on the board that every subject they study, the tree translation is easy. So math is Nkunta something. English is Brofo. And then something. Economics, they said Pepeni for Jadi.
I was doing the
Penny for Jadi or something. Pepe for Jadi. Yes. Economics is a chisel blessings.
It's for the mice. Anyway, good morning,
when he was installing Professor Babwati as VC of Methodist University, it's a very beautiful story he told. He was an economics teacher in some school. Penny Jadi.
This person says that he drives a Mitsubishi 1200. I used to buy 900 Ghana cedis to fill my tank every week, and I buy from Shell. Wow. Now, full tank is a little over 700 Ghana cedis.
So let me give you a quick background to this controversy before Sky comes in. So Finance Skills Hub, who have been working with us on training. In fact, they're working with our team. They did some very good work 4 days ago. The start of a full-blown fuel price war in 2026. So he gives the background. The dawn of January 16, 2026, which is just 4 days ago, marked a historic turning point for Ghanaian consumers as petrol prices broke the single-digit barrier for the first time in a long period. This milestone was reached when GOIL slashed its petrol price to 9 cedis 99 pesos per litre at 150 selected stations, only to be undercut hours later by StarOil, which dropped its price to 9 cedi 97 pesos per litre. Driven by a 5.71% appreciation of the Ghana cedi and falling international product prices, this shift triggered what the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers has termed, quote, a full-blown price war, unquote. The rivalry between GOIL and Star represents a fundamental shift in market strategy, where companies are now prioritizing high sales volumes over high profit margins. Right. Very important point. Now he describes Star as the aggressive disruptor. StarOil has evolved from serving underserved rural communities to becoming Ghana's market leader, boasting an extraordinary 805% sales growth between 2020 and 2025. Its least cost competitive strategy is powered by proprietary online software that eliminates forecourt losses and unauthorized sales, allowing it to pass savings directly to consumers. The national defender GOIL. The state-owned giant GOIL has responded to StarOil's ambush, quote-unquote, by leveraging its massive retail network to offer promotional discounts. GOIL views these aggressive price cuts as a core responsibility to provide consumer relief and support the government's broader economic recovery efforts. So GOIL also reduced price. The intensity of the competition is most visible in the speed of the pricing adjustments. On January 16, GOIL implemented its reduction at 6 a.m. and Star responded with its own cut by 8 a.m. the same morning. Industry analysts suggest this rapid back and forth is a direct result of increased price sensitivity among consumers who now favor brands that offer even a few pesos of savings. Yeah. Furthermore, the G4O program has played a crucial role in this dynamic by weakening the link between global fuel price volatility and the exchange rate, accounting for an estimated 10 to 24% reduction in pump prices. This economic environment has allowed both OMCs to sustain a price war that COPEC describes as the best thing the Ghanaian consumer can get. Now, this morning we read two stories where, on one hand, the IES seems to think that there should be a maintenance of a certain price floor. COPEC thinks it should be removed. Sky, what did you want to add?
Yes, so I got a call and some education from an authority who understands the space. And the explanation is that stricto sensu, or strictly speaking, we do not have a price floor to which we hold people and say, OMC, this is where your prices should be, should not go below. But rather, it is an indicator of how much further down you cannot go if you are reducing fuel prices. Because the MPA has factored everything there needs to be factored into determining what the floor should be. The tariffs you need to pay, the margins you have to pay, and possibly adding something for profit and all of that. So that it is aimed at achieving a number of things, particularly two. You have mentioned one already. But one is that it is to prevent smuggling.
Okay.
Because if people smuggle fuel into the country, what is likely to happen is that because they are not paying taxes or they are not paying levies, they are likely to sell fuel to consumers at a cheaper, price.
I get it.
Which means that if Kofi goes to import fuel into the country,
he doesn't go through all the processes.
Exactly.
He can sell very low.
Exactly.
I think that's the point you were trying to make that I wasn't listening.
Which undercuts the market.
Okay.
Yeah, which is bad for the country because we are not getting revenue and related matters.
Correct.
The other fact is that it is aimed at protecting consumers. Because again, people are sometimes unscrupulous. So what they do is they may bring in fuel and then dilute it with all kinds of things, so that they make enough margins. So this floor is basically an indicator of, if you put everything together, any OMC that is selling below that would have to account to the MPA as to why, given all the metrics that go into determining what the price should be, they are selling below that.
So that's well understood.
Exactly.
But the post that the MD of Star made a few days ago, which suggested that they could do dynamic pricing by selling lower than what they were currently selling at some specific times, like the night. That price they would have sold would still have been above the price floor, right? So I'm wondering why he then made that post then, if he's saying that if it wasn't for the price floor, right? Because now they sell at 9.97. I am told that the price floor is 9.80.
Which is just a little below.
It's a lot, because from 9.97 you can come all the way to 9.965, all the way to 9.90.
Okay.
You can come to 9.89.
Okay.
So it's almost, if you do the calculation in terms of pesos, that's about 17 pesos above the price floor.
Okay.
So what is the big fuss? There's a lot of space to go down. If my understanding of the current price floor is to be correct, which is 9 cedi 80 pesos per liter, he should sell. He should come down more. Nobody's preventing him, unless I misunderstand the post. Do you understand? Because you've explained to what the price floor is, and we understand there should be a price floor. Of course, COPEC didn't agree. They felt like price floors should be removed entirely. But you've explained it, and I think I sort of agree with you. But my point is that currently, Star is selling at 9.97. GOIL is selling at 9.99. And by the way, we posted, as of January, the average price. I still think the differentials are too high. Let me show you something.
Okay.
So, again, we are not here to push somebody's brand or to destroy somebody's brand, but this is what the City Business Desk has put out. Fuel prices as of the second window of January 2026. All right. For petrol, GOIL is 9.99. Okay, let's start from the lowest. Star is 9.97. GOIL is 9.99. Zen is 10.52. Shell and Total are 11.68. So they are having Charlie. Now let's come to diesel. Star is 10.97. GOIL is 11.21. Zen is 11.68. Both Total and Shell 12.38. So clearly, Star is the low price. GOIL is competing with Star, but slightly higher in diesel. Zen is like the middle ground, and then the large ones, the foreign-owned ones, seem to be higher price. What baffles me is that in a deregulated market, it's not a perfect competition. But I'm still surprised at the large price differentials, because think about it, 9.97 for the lowest and 11.68. All right, that's about 1 cedi 50 pesos gap. Because that's a little over 1 cedi, almost one cedi 70 pesos difference between the lowest and the highest on the market. And I'm not sure I even have the highest here.
Okay.
The industry needs to answer why. So okay.
Will overheads explain it away?
So from the analysis we read, the market leader has a strong distribution outlet. Number 2, they have proprietary software which helps them cut losses at the station.
Okay.
I also think because they used to be a BDC, they've just forward integrated, right? So it makes it easier. So they have internal transfer pricing. I think that's the reason why GOIL also has Go, which is a BDC as well. So, but I still feel like the differentials are very wide for a small market like this. All right, that's for the industry people to answer. Maybe their calculations Abbas will do to tell me that in some countries the disparities are even more. Number 2, is there a quality perception issue? Okay. Number 3, how can a company consistently sell at 1 cedi 50 pesos higher than the lowest in the market and still make money and not be collapsed? These are questions that we need to ask. All right. Maybe the industry people can come and explain to us how that is possible, because usually there is a certain alignment of prices, particularly in a market which has information transparency. All right. The only way you can have such high price differentials is when there's information asymmetry, where people don't know that
this is what's happening.
You get it? But from the way people are even tweeting, people actually know. Okay. Could it be so? The only, and this is me. This is me now doing. I'm conjecturing now.
Yeah.
The only possible reason why some of the foreign-owned companies can sell high, I think there are two possible reasons. They have a big base because they are foreign-owned. So maybe when the group looks at the way it spreads its overheads across countries, Ghana can still be okay. Number two, there may be a quality perception issue where Ghanaians will still patronize them because they feel like these companies, their fuel is clean and healthy because they advertise on the basis of quality. Number three, maybe there are perceptions that the people don't mix and they don't steal. So for example, and number four, they have strong relationship with other corporates, right? So somebody selling at 11.6. I'll still buy from him because I know that for this group of cars I've bought, I don't want to experiment with this brand because maybe they may be mixing. All right. Again, larger companies like Shell and Total, because of where they are from, are able to strike deals with large companies. So maybe a French company that does something can decide that all their companies will buy fuel from Total.
Yeah.
All right. So it's like their base is covered. Yeah. All right. Of course, GOIL gets the same advantage for Ghanaian government companies, but we don't know whether. So it's a multitude of reasons. But yeah, I think the last. Okay, first.
So what I'm getting is that the difference can be attributed to margin need and investment commitments. So that is one. And then the highest pricing is attributable to brand perception,
which is what I was trying to say.
Which is what you were trying to say. So, people perceive certain brands to offer certain returns in terms of quality. And there's an assurance that if you take your vehicle there, you're driving, BMW, 5 Series or 7 Series, and you don't want to experiment with what kind of fuel goes into the vehicle. You're buying Excellium. You want to be sure that this thing, when it goes in, there's no problem. So you go to a particular station to buy that. You don't want to go to the Quanchen, fuel stations where there'll be a problem because there's suspicion that something may well be happening.
I am not an expert in the industry, so I'm just using basic economic principles. I think that there needs to be stronger regulation of the downstream petroleum for a number of reasons.
Even after deregulation?
The deregulation, in my view, was a cop-out.
Okay.
What the government realized was that fuel prices were hurting political fortunes of governing parties. So they decided to create, in my view, an illusion of a deregulation, where they would say because there's no industry that's not regulated. So they basically say we have deregulated. They took away the responsibility of prescribing a price, but they gave a band that is, it's almost like the PURC. They gave a band below which you can't sell, above which you can't sell. So it's almost like we are not going to tell you what exact price to sell, but you can't go beyond this corridor. So it's, in my view, so deregulation to an extent. Okay. Now this is my view. Regulation should not just be about price. Deregulation. Regulation itself is a big area which includes competitive behavior. Right? Why do countries in the West always find Google and Facebook and these companies? They say you are behaving in an anti-competitive way. Your search engines dominate. You deliberately use your access to search engines to disadvantage other players in the market.
Okay. There are competition laws.
In any market, so let's take power. Somebody generates, somebody transmits, somebody distributes. Okay. In our country, what we have is bulk distribution companies who go and lift finished product. All right. Now, if I'm a BDC, I think, of course, it's the horse has left the stable. For a BDC to become an OMC, it's a very big thing. Because if I'm an OMC who doesn't have a BDC, I'm disadvantaged. Because if Sky goes to lift crude from wherever he lifts it, using his own vessel or pays for the vessel, he can decide that he will sell to his OMC at maybe 8 cedis, 90 pesos. Caleb, who doesn't have a BDC, has to pay Godfred 9 cedi, 50 pesos for the same product. So BDCs becoming OMCs itself is anti-competitive. But the state-owned company does it, private companies also do it. So have you noticed that the ones that are supposedly charging lower, they all have their own BDCs? That's number one. Number two, the whole BDC system, I don't think it's long-term developmental. Why? Africa has a lot of crude oil reserves, yet we have the lowest refinery capacity anywhere in the world. Most refineries are not based on the continent. Nigeria and Angola are two of the world's largest oil producing countries, yet their ability to refine is very low. Okay, we have created a system where companies go and lift finished, so we export crude oil, and we go and buy finished product, for which reason our tour has not worked for many years. Dangote has decided to set up a refinery. He's fighting his own regulator because the regulator wants to destroy him, in a sense, essentially. Why? Because there's a vested interest in keeping the Nigerian economy as an exporter of crude. So you can say the same thing for Tor. So I think BDCs have played their role, but BDCs are not the long-term energy sovereignty solution for any serious country. Do you understand me? So it's good we have BDCs who have now entered downstream, but maybe they should also enter refinery. If I were a government, I would say the 4 or 5 largest BDCs and OMCs buy shares in Tor. Come and let's work and make Tor work. We'll make a law, but buy 30% of your petrol from Tor, so Tor can also stand. That's what strategic leaders do. You don't create a system where people just, yes, because what if a war occurs, Venezuela doesn't produce, America stops producing, Iran doesn't produce, Saudi doesn't produce, what do we do? Should we die? Don't you think that our 10 and Sankofa, we should go to refine it here? Don't you think that strategically having a refinery in your country that works is for your own energy sovereignty? Do you need to go to school to know this? So to sit down for 30 years and not have a proper functioning refinery, and now that Tor is working, I think the government should have a conversation with the BDCs and the OMCs, because we have to make sure that Tor's survival is not a 9-day wonder, that it doesn't happen after 2 years and it goes back to square one. How do you ensure that? Tor must be competitive. How do they get competitive? If BDCs can go and lift at a price that is lower than how much Tor can sell, Tor cannot survive. So the country must discriminate to support its own survival. That's what countries do. So this conversation around price, this thing, I even think is not the main issue. The main issue is, what are you doing to make Ghana energy sovereign? What support are you giving to the Tema Oil Refinery to be a player in the conversation? What discussion are you having with Dangote as well? Because I think it would be cheaper to buy finished product from Lagos than to buy it from China. All things being equal. Of course, in Ghana, you can buy a cement bar from China. It's cheaper than the one made in Accra. So that's a whole miracle. But at least buying cement from Accra should be cheaper than buying it from China. Yet, based on all kinds of things, imported goods put on the ship from wherever are still cheaper than Ghana. So we have economic policy decisions which have undermined our independence and sovereignty. And I think, and thank God now there's information. We don't need to hide it in any jargon. You don't need to. What I'm saying, if I'm lying, tell me that you don't think that any serious country in the world refines its own oil. You should. Or at least have arrangements that make some of your oil refined. You don't own all your oil, but at least you are a shareholder in some of the oil that you drill. Imagine under COVID, ships cannot move because of COVID, and nobody's going to sell you fuel. What will you do? How can cars move? How can you work? You can't. The truth is that our country can be ground to a halt because we are not energy sovereign. And that is the question that should avert the mind of the energy minister. How do you ensure, despite competition, that our oil refinery is functional and competitive? How do you harness the financial might of our BDCs and OMCs to be players? It's the same thing. It's like saying that don't export raw cashew or cocoa. The largest exporters of the raw material is like rice. Rice importers should be enjoined to invest in rice farms because they have the leverage, they have the money. Right? It's not a poor farmer in Jelukope is going to do rice farming to feed Ghana. The guy who's importing 20 containers of rice and making large margins, he must be asked to go to a farm place to make a rice farm. Because if he can buy the rice, and by the way, the population in Thailand and Vietnam, they are growing. The young people don't want to farm. Right? All the arable land is here. So we should be putting our people to work. But farmers cannot produce to feed us if there's no money to back them. So they all have the money in the agri. Sometimes we make politics look complicated. The trade minister, the agri minister, the energy minister, their mandate must be independence and sovereignty. That's what it is. Not making some industry people happy so they can give money to the party. That's not how you run a country. It's supposed to give us sovereignty. So Tor, Combat and Co, please write a memo to the energy minister and to the government that now that people have enough to reduce prices and they are making margins, they should invest in Tor. Because they've made a lot of money in the BDC business. Tor must never die. Tor must survive. There's another one called Sentu. It's a private sector one. It started working before Tor worked, but thank God Tor has started working. If we don't push this, in a year or two, they'll bring Tor back to its knees. You've covered this Tor thing for over 20 years. You know. It goes round and round. If we are not able to refine our own crude as part of our energy mix, we are not ready to survive. This is the lesson of the price competition. Let's read more comments. Time check 8:49.
I just want to mention quickly that there's something coming in that suggests that the products are loaded from the same depot. So it's not like, these people go and load from their own depot, blah, blah. So the quality assurance is to be deemed to be across the board. Where the variations come in is where you are dealing with, say, you want a particular premium fuel. So maybe you want to buy it.
Is it addressing the perception question?
Yeah, that's right. So
the perception question is not
around 95, or is it 95?
The perception about fuel quality, which leads to price, is not because one is lower. People perceive it to be so. Just it's not an objective reason. So people perceive maybe a certain brand to be quality. Therefore, they will pay 11.68 for it. It behoves on the guy selling at 9
to explain,
to demonstrate that
a better experience.
It's outlets, because the truth is that you may be doing the right thing at the depot, but some guy in the Cochrane to me place may be doing his own thing.
Yeah.
You get it?
Mixing things in.
These perceptions are brand reputations built over time. That's also equity. So whatever Shell or Total have done to have that perception is part of their strategy. So GOIL and Star and these other guys have to invest in building their brand. Because the reason I'll buy Caveman watch is because I like the brand and I respect the brand. So brand building is a legitimate strategy as well. So it's not because we are saying you buy your product from a different place. People have a perception based on their experience with your brand. Yes. And you have to, I can't fix it for you. You have to fix it yourself. Right? So it's not an objective issue, it's a subjective issue. But the price is objective. Luckily, Ghanaians are very price sensitive. So now people are looking for outlets that sell cheaper. So long may it continue. But the strategic issues must not be forgotten. Caleb, read some comment for us.
So Bernard, I just bought from the Bachona GOIL service station. I enjoyed discounted prices and I was served with some hot breakfast, double satisfaction, full tank on a full belly.
Charlie, what breakfast was that?
He said it was hot. But he didn't let us know whether it was, Cockney or Usajogbo. Good morning, Bernard. I buy from Icon and StarOil. Hafiz from Teshi Estate. He's an Uber driver. He sent that message. I buy from JP due to the quality of fuel they give. Their fuel is infused with additives that clean your engine. They continue to deliver quality customer service and have the most competitive price in Ghana now. Julius sent that.
That's right. You know, as a member of staff.
Looks like something.
No, we said that people should. No shaming. Today only praising.
Well, the fact that he knows they add additives that cleans the engine.
That means that the consumer. I think it's
potentially an indirect marketing.
Okay.
Instead of a customer sharing.
Julius, I buy from GOIL because of their quality and I get longer mileage compared to some other OMCs. Their prices are reasonable as well. I remember when they sold around 95 at no extra cost. Joey sent that from Abeka. Good morning, City. I aim at the lowest liter price at the pump to buy because I want more fuel. I'm Kelly at Blue Rose Estate, Buduburam Camp. Kojo Ray sending us a message. He says, I used to buy from other fuel stations always. I check the engine sign on the dashboard. Then my mechanic advised me to use GOIL. So I always fill up at GOIL. Mamole branch of Anyapo Kwasi Road. They have some restaurant in there. Then I get my early morning coffee from before getting to the office. I will always choose GOIL because I am assured of high quality with additives in their products. Okay, good morning, CBS. Amamole GOIL has been giving breakfast to customers for some time now. In fact, on a regular basis.
When would that breakfast reach us?
You have to drive there.
What kind of breakfast, Robert? Is it broccoli jobo and
Who's that?
are you as you always?
Yeah.
Wow.
Over the years, GOIL has been a known, trusted, and consistent brand. The quality of its fuel is high compared to other brands that sell at very low prices at the pumps, but their fuel quality is suspect. Buy quality over quantity. Keep your engine life longer. I buy my fuel always at GOIL, and now that their price for super and diesel is low, I'll do so even more. How was
Whilst we've been on air, somebody sent me the Shell retail outlet who are selling super for 10.99. You know, initially I read 11.68.
yes.
So I don't know whether this was changed today, but 10.99 is the super. But V Power is 13.09. But super is the basic premium motor spirit.
We like it.
That's what it's called, super. Diesel is 11.99. Here's another one. Bernard, listening to you this morning on the fuel price. I just passed by a JP while listening to you, and the price at 9.89, even below StarOil. The thing with JP is that they don't have that many outlets. Right. So you can't, in terms of competition, even though they may sell at below the 9.97 that Star is selling, because the outlets are not that many.
You have to drive along.
It may not make that much of an impact. Right. But Star has grown its outlets aggressively.
A vast network.
And so you see Star to be fair, when you go on GOIL, one with the caravan, you see GOIL everywhere. Yeah. But Star has also grown very significantly. Amos says, I buy from Star after switching from GOIL. I support the CEO of Star, but to say that selling fuel in the night, not to support economy, but due to low temperatures. Okay, that's an interesting one.
Yeah,
do you know that when you sell fuel, when you buy fuel at midday and the sun is up, a lot of evaporation takes place, so you don't get the full quantity. But if you bought at a cool temperature, you get the full thing.
Yeah.
So, but that's the point, right? So you can sell at night at a cheaper price.
Yeah, so you have to.
But what prevents him from doing that? I fail to understand the problem here.
Yeah,
because if you are selling at 9.97, your price was 9.80.
Night at a cheaper. No.
No, my point is that you see, at night. And by the way, when you buy in the day, what I'm told is that because the temperature is high, you may lose some. I don't know whether that loss affects both the buyer and the seller, right? But in the night, when they dispense, because the temperatures are cool, the product is a bit more stable, and therefore both of them benefit.
I think it will be the buyer who will be losing, because you're dispensing directly from the tank, right? And it's gone through the pump before it reaches.
So who loses in the day? The buyer, you mean?
It'll be the buyer who is losing.
Yeah, but okay, my question is how can you sell
because the
lower
oil would
at
have
night?
expanded.
So what I'm asking is that what advantage does the seller have? Is it just using the selling at a lower price at night to encourage people who drive at night to come to their outlets, or is it because when he sells at night, he loses less and therefore he wants to sell more at night? I don't understand that.
That would make sense because if you're selling at night, then the fuel is more condensed, and so it's the advantage is for the buyer. So it's deemed as the seller may lose, but I think that it balances out because you're selling at daytime as well.
You're making so much money. So you compensate.
Exactly. So what you sell, if you the seller lose more during the night, you're going to get that back during the day around midday when the fuel is thinner. Yeah.
Or maybe because they have a lot of outlets, if they sell at night and they don't have enough patronage at night, the cost of keeping the outlet open at night is high. Do you understand me? So if, for example, because I have 150 outlets and maybe 50% of them sell at night, as against my competitor who doesn't sell at night because they close, I would want more people to come at night so that if I keep even 2 attendants at night, the amount of fuel I sell justifies the pay I pay them. Do you get it? So those who have invested in fuel outlets, some of which operate at night, would want to attract night buyers. to justify their operation at night.
Because will make business
You get
sense,
it? Because if I sell at night and only 3 people come and buy, why should I keep a whole person there the whole night for just 3 people?
But in this day and age where, people are doing away with, attendance, do we still need attendance in Ghana? Of course, I understand the issue of jobs. Yes, people need to be given jobs. And when we're making decisions like that, we should take that into consideration. But strictly speaking, I mean, do we still need fuel attendance just to go pump when the person buying can actually do that, pay with a card and move on to the next thing?
Sky, I was thinking about this from a different angle today. I don't remember the example it was, but there was something I did this week that didn't require me to talk to any person.
Okay.
I don't remember the transaction it was. I don't know whether it was a bank or something. And I was asking myself, the benefit I get and the convenience I get, is that good for an economy or bad for the economy in comparison to a person doing that work and being paid? My understanding from the literature and from those who I've spoken to is that eventually an economy benefits from efficiency. So if we even say that in the short term 100 people will lose their jobs as fuel dispensers, you can train them to work in the back end to program the system so that even when I can buy without them, they will still get a job. So it disrupts initially, right? So initially, and of course, so for me, the key is value for the customer is the real issue. Not because you don't want somebody to lose his job. What tends to happen is that technology disrupts employment temporarily, but there's also always room for retraining. I'm trying to remember the example of what it was I did this week, which didn't require. It's something I used to struggle with, where somebody had to help me, but now I just go and do it. I don't know what I paid. I don't know, but something. It's very similar. When I'm in the UK and I'm going to buy fuel, we drive to the dispensing place, we dispense ourselves, and we go into the room, and sometimes we pay with card, or sometimes we even pay without anybody being there.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's efficient for us. But in Ghana, the challenge is companies don't train, and they don't think long term. There's no good regulation. So if a company has a system that can eliminate human beings, people are going to lose their jobs permanently. Whereas what should be done is to say, okay, this technology we are bringing, even though you won't be a fuel dispenser, you can be taught basic backroom work or call center work or something else.
Calibration or whatever.
Do you get it? So that even though you won't stand there at night to dispense and even steal from somebody, you will still have a job, which is actually also adding value. Because the truth is that if I'm able to do that transaction shorter, right? If I'm able to do that transaction quicker, then I can work faster and economy benefits more.
Right.
All right. So we always hamper progress by saying, oh, let people keep their jobs. All right. So if it takes me 3 hours to get to a place, I'm not productive. If I'm not productive, I can't do other value-added things that will make the economy grow faster. So even though you are paying a fuel attendant to sell me that fuel,
1,005.
you get it. It's like bank transactions. I'm able to do a transaction on my phone without going to a bank. That may mean that a teller will lose his job. But the speed with which I'm able to make those payments, so let's assume somebody has to pay their university fee before tomorrow deadline. In the olden days, if I don't get to the bank by 4 o'clock, the person may lose their
spot.
Admission.
Today, I remember the example. Yesterday, the light went off as I finished watching Point of View around 3 minutes to end of Point of View. My light went off. Where I was staying in the past, I had to take a card and go. There was a day my fuel ECG got finished.
Credit.
I went to some corner.
Allah.
There was only one outlet that was selling with the card. Before I went to buy and came back and put on the meter. Now they gave me a device, which when I have an app on my phone. So I go to the app, I buy the amount, it gives me a token. I type it into the device. So yesterday I bought power sitting in my hall because I had internet connection. Good, that's the example I was going to give. So in a sense, people who do ECG credits may lose their job. But Compare me having to drive for 1 hour looking for an outlet at night. I could be attacked by robbers.
Yes.
My kids cannot sleep because of heat. The benefit I was able to buy that thing in 2 minutes gives the overall economy of Ghana. It's better than that person sitting there being chewed by mosquitoes for me to come at night. Okay, so your fuel outlet question is a legitimate question. We should not be afraid of technology. What we should do is to say the guys who are selling that card in the night should be trained to do something else.
Yeah.
Because who benefits by me driving around circle looking for ECG to buy when I can buy it on my phone? All right. We should not let the fear of job losses prevent us from making companies more efficient. But we should be human-centered, and companies should have policies around retrenchment, retraining, and rehiring. I think that's the solution. It's the same as AI. Can we do away with the journalists? No. But the journalist can learn how to deploy it to make his work better. We should not say that fewer attendants. It's like the thing at the toll booth.
Yeah, the toll that we pay.
Traffic, because somebody's taking 50 pesos from me. When I get to Legon, I have a card. Legon gate opens for me. Nobody is there. The person who would have been standing there taking the 50 pesos and not even reporting it, he may be doing something else with his life. So I used to be worried about technology, but now I'm quite open.
Beautiful.